Today's topic is the 7 hubs of the human machine. Okay, so the objective is for us to know where they are, what kind of energy it uses, the functions, what defects are there, and what sense is in each of those hubs. Okay, so there's a difference between hubs and chakras. On our body, they're on the same height, but the hubs are on the spinal cord and the chakras are outside our physical body. Okay, so let's keep it clear. We're going to see the hubs. Okay, so we'll start with the sexual hub. Okay, it uses sexual energy because its function is to create. It has 3 ways of creating. Okay, so it creates a baby, which we know, but it also creates the ego. That means that when a person has an orgasm or ejaculates, that energy, nothing gets lost in the universe. So that energy is taken back to the person and it becomes darker. Okay, so the ego feeds himself, so people get more fascinated with the outside world and forget more and more about himself or herself. And the other creation is the suprasex, which is to create the inner bodies, okay, which is to awaken the kundalini. So that one, I have here a picture. Nope, not that one. There we go. I wish I had a different one. Yes, I do. There, this one looks better. So, for that 3rd creation, this is when the kundalini arises. So it's these snakes over here, and when they arise, the chakras start to develop their, I forget the name, their powers. Okay, so it's different from the hubs. Okay, but in order for this to happen, you must have the hubs working well. Since we don't know where they are, how to save energy, that's why it's very difficult for a person to awaken their kundalini. So that's why this conference is really important. So as you could see, we have some black dots here. Okay, what they show us is the breathing process to do this practice, where the person breathes. You see, the person breathes through their nose, take it to their lungs, takes it down to their stomach, the air, okay, because we were breathing, and take it to the sexual glands. Once that energy is there in the sexual glands, the person visualizes a golden thread that will go up from their coccyx all the way up through the spinal cord, up to the 3rd eye. Okay, so what's going to happen? The energy that we have, our sexual energy, is the one that comes out and does this. So the person does the breathing process, retents, and it goes up. And after you're there, then you exhale a mantra. But I'm just giving you like little tips of what we're going to see later on. But that's what that hubs does. Okay, that's the main function of this hub, is to create the inner bodies of the human being. Okay. So let's go back. The 7 hubs. There we go. Okay. Now, we're going to see what sense is there. Okay. So the sense that we have here is touch. Okay. Because in every sexual damn it, I don't know why, I'm sorry guys, I'm nervous to be here live. But every time that you have sex with someone, it always starts by touching, right? Because you have to like touch the other person, so that's why it's the main sense that's there, okay? And the defect that's here is laziness, because believe it or not, though, I mean, most of all people are excited when it's about having sex, right? Oh yeah, and you get excited. But when it's the super sex practice, that defects arouses and you really do feel like heavy, like, oh man. But it is a great practice, and it is fun. But unfortunately, that's how it is, okay? Then we have the second hub, which is on the coccyx, okay? So it's upper, it's on the coccyx, okay? Here is where it manages all the waters, okay? Our blood. That's why here they handle our karma too, because it's in the waters, okay? So it's an instinctive hub, which means that it learns, okay? But it's not the way of learning that we have, okay? It's a hub that takes everything that the person has naturally learned. For example, giving birth. So it takes all that it has learned during the different lives that we have had, okay? So for example, in a case of an emergency, in a tsunami, you hear that a person says, I don't know how, but I climbed that tree. And then the person doesn't know how to go back down. What happened? Well, immediately his instinctive part came out and made him remember how to climb, okay? Something that we wouldn't do if it was in an emergency, okay? We see different things. A mother trying to save her child. She would pick something that is extremely heavy. She doesn't know how, but she will just pick it up and take her son out. Where did that energy came from? From that instinctive memory, okay? So that's how it works. Its function is to apprehend, okay? So you could see that it's spelled different. So apprehend is when we learn something that we do consciously, okay? So that information, it's all in this hub, okay? Here is the sense is taste, and its defect is greed. Why? Because everything that we taste, we want more and more and more. It doesn't have to be about eating, okay? Well, that's one way, because it gives us pleasure. But the first time we tasted a new kind of music, like we never heard salsa before, but you heard it and you like, oh, you like the taste of that rhythm, and you want to keep on hearing more and more, okay? So that's what it is. And it uses vital energy. Then we have the third hub. They are 7, okay? We're on the third one. The third one is the lower emotional hub, okay? So we have a high emotional and a lower emotional hub, okay? So this one, as its name says, is emotional. So it uses that kind of energy from the emotions. So that's the way we waste that kind of energy, because the whole day we keep on feeling emotions, okay? So imagine a person who really loves video games, but the whole day or 3-4 hours you're there feeling the excitement. Oh my god, they're going to kill me. Oh, that bastard. And you keep on wasting that energy from there. So that's like showing you a way that we don't know how they work, okay? The defect that is there, the function is feeling, obviously, because it's an emotion, okay? The defect is lust, and the sense is of smell. So as dogs, the dogs, they have lust, and all they use is their nose, and they start smelling, and they know where and and when they get close to a woman, they smell, oh, and to men too, you know, they smell that specific place because that's their sense, okay? Perfumes nowadays, they come so that when a person gets near you, unconsciously, through your nose, you feel that smell, and it makes this, that's the outcome, okay? It makes you excited, okay? So that's what happens. On the fourth one, we have the lower intellectual hub. We have a high one too, okay? So this one is the lower intellectual hub. So obviously it uses mental energy, okay? And its sense is hearing, and the defect is pride. Really interesting, both. I mean, how are they connected? Because since this is about intellectual, it's about thinking, you're going to notice, if you know someone who reads a lot and has like a really good memory, and you say like, wow, he should go play, you know, Who Wants to Be Millionaire, because he knows about everything. But that person has pride inside him of his knowledge. So their sight of hearing is developed, okay? That sense is developed, and they're always listening, and every time someone makes a mistake, they're there telling them, that didn't happen in that year, oh no, you're wrong, that was during, you know, that president in 1955, for example, that's what happened in the Cold War, or that person didn't write that book, the person who wrote that book is this, you're confusing it with this person, and they're always listening to show their intelligence, okay, and always feeding their pride. How do we waste this energy? Because we keep on thinking the whole day, things that we did before, planning for the future, or having a problem, and we just keep thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to say? So we're there with so many concepts in our mind, and that keeps on taking away our energy. Since that intellectual hub is right here, close to our heart, that's why they say that don't think. What do they mean, don't think? If you stop thinking, then you're going to be able to listen to your heart, to your conscious, okay? So that's what it is. Well, that's why they say don't think. So you will be able to hear your consciousness, listen to your heart, okay? On that fifth hub, it's the motor hub, all about movement, okay? And it has its function, that is to do, but that doing is of three parts, okay? We do in different ways. So by movement here, we move around, so that's one way. That's why it uses motive energy. Another way is speaking, because we just blah 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 the whole day, okay? And the other is when we don't say something, we keep it to ourselves, okay? That's another way, because even though we keep it to ourselves, inside us, we continue with that inside shut, so it's omission, okay? So you don't know, so it's confusing, because with omission, you don't know if it's right. I mean, should I say it or should I stay shut, okay? You don't even know which one is worse, or you just keep blabbing out loud, okay? So you keep on wasting that energy, okay? Then we have the other two hubs which say higher. So what's the difference? That these hubs work according to our soul, and these are from the spirit. So if you haven't seen the videos before, you're going to be asking yourself, or maybe you saw them, What do I mean that they are from the soul? So remember that all our ego is trapped in our soul. That's why people say, you know, the person has a black soul, a dark soul. It's because we're talking about the ego that's inside our soul, okay? So, since the ego is the one that moves us, we're like zombies doing all that the ego keeps on telling us. For example, in a normal day, we're in a car and all of a sudden we're hungry. And the voice there tells us, oh, let's go to McDonald's. And you're there, yeah, let's go to McDonald's. But then another voice comes and tells you, oh no, let's go get a big ice cream. Remember, today's Tuesday. I mean, you buy two for the price of one, and then you're there like, oh yeah, I want to go for that ice cream. But then all of a sudden, you just feel tired and you say, you know what, I want to go home, I want to get home early. And you end up going someplace else. That's what the ego does with us the whole day with all of these hubs, and it keeps on taking out our energy, okay? So that's why they're different, and they need us. Well, I'll show you later how they work at night, okay? So the upper two are disconnected from these, okay? That's the importance of the super sex practice and creating the inner bodies, so we can connect those hubs to the two higher ones, okay? So in the two higher ones, we have the higher emotional hub, okay? Which it uses the energy of the consciousness, okay? So you have a cone over here, and it uses the energy of the consciousness, so it never finishes, okay? So here, the function is to judge, but since it's a higher level in a spirituality, then it's a higher way of judging, because we judge every day and we judge people by the way they look. But this judgment is a real judgment, okay? It has the power of clairvoyance, okay? Which makes, it has the power of clairvoyance. So you could see exactly what you're thinking, if it's true or not. I mean, you're not judging, you're really seeing if that person really did do that. So it's clear what you're seeing when you're seeing a person, okay? You could see like his intention, you could see what he has done in the past, and you can also see what will happen if you tell him something. You're going to see in the future what consequences will it bring to that person and to you, and what will happen if I don't tell that person. That's why I could do a clear judgment of it, okay? How do I activate it now? Okay, start working on it. Through self-observation. Stop observing others and start observing myself. Why am I judging that person? Okay? Why do I think that person is conceited? Oh, I think that person is so conceited because he doesn't even say hi. I mean, look at him. I mean, he thinks he's all that. Well, when I'm there judging that, I'm going to take that to myself, and I'm going to see how conceited am I. Why can't I say hi? Why can't I be nice? Okay, then I'm seeing like, oh well, yeah, I'm conceited too. Okay, why am I judging the person of how that person looks and thinks that he's all that? Because inside I feel envy and I want to be all that. Okay, so there I start judging myself and I start knowing myself. Okay, so that way I'm going to start working on that hub. What is the defect? Gluttony. And why? Because we're done with the five senses. Why? Because you should have an equilibrium, and there you don't have an equilibrium. Okay, that's why. Because when I don't judge, if I'm not judging well, I mean, if I am unconsciously judging, I am not in an equilibrium inside me, right? I'm totally out. I'm totally wrong when I'm judging the other person, okay? And the other hub is the higher intellectual hub, okay? So it uses the pure energy of the spirit. Its function is knowledge. But where does that knowledge come from? It's knowledge from the universe. It's not the knowledge that we have, that we get at school, that we get from books. No, this is the knowledge from other dimensions, from where the Reiki came, for example, right? It was through a meditation and it was taken from the 6th or 7th dimension. So that's what it is, okay? So it's that kind of knowledge. What is the defect? The defect is envy, because if I don't know something, there is no envy, right? I feel envy when I know something, that I know somebody bought a better car than mine, that somebody bought a better phone than mine. Then that's where I feel the envy, like, oh, okay, so there you go. So that's why, okay? So let's go back to this. These two work perfectly, but they are disconnected from us, okay? We don't have access to them unless we do a meditation, okay? When we have a meditation practice, we connect to this part. But during the day, we're not connected to them, okay? Because we are unconscious the whole day, because the whole day we're doing other things, okay? So let's see how the hubs work. At night, when we go to bed, when we fall asleep, the astral body comes out, goes away, travels, and the vital body is going to start doing its work. That's why its name is vital energy. It's the one that gives us the fuel for the next day. So the instinctive center, what it does is that it gives energy to the other hubs, okay? So it takes, because it manages the water of the body, okay? So everything that we ate and everything, it transforms it into energy. I mean, life is beautiful. It knows how it does it, and what it does is that it's going to give the energy enough to each one of those hubs to work well the next day. That's why when we don't sleep well, the next day we feel tired. Sometimes we just sleep 4 hours, but we perfectly slept. And we feel like we slept like 8 hours. It's because the body was able to do that job. Okay, so what happens? Okay, we slept well, all of those hubs have its energy, but we get up and we start wasting them without knowing. What's the first thing maybe we look at? The time. Then we start remembering, oh my God, what is it that I have to do today? And there you go, motor energy. I gotta run, oh my God, I have a hard day. Thinking, what am I gonna wear? Do I have all the things? Where are the keys of the car? The kids, I have to wake them up too. So there you go, okay? Then with the emotions, we already started feeling stress and we just woke up, okay? So we're there feeling that energy, or we feel down and we start feeling that feeling more, okay? So you wake up feeling blue and you keep on feeling it, like, oh man, and it's rainy, what a day, and look at my clothes, they're so ugly. So we keep on feeling that blue sense, okay? Then the whole day we just keep running, okay? We keep I mean, how long do we take on our phones? Chatting through WhatsApp, Facebook, feeling those emotions. If we have a WhatsApp group, we get angry, we get happy, we laugh, we share. So there we keep on wasting. We waste energy the whole day. I mean, we think the whole day, we plan the whole day, we remember things from a long time ago. If we listen to music, there goes that emotional hub working and working with those emotions. Okay, oh, because this song reminds me when I was in school. Oh, and that song reminds me when I was really sad. Oh, this song is the ladies and I love dancing it and I'm singing this. So we keep on wasting the whole time energy. Then when we're finally home, wanting to rest, what's going to happen? That since these guys wasted their energy during the day, when they ran out of energy, they asked the hub for more. Like, hey, I mean, it's only 5 o'clock, man. We need more energy. Gotta go to the bar, I gotta go pick up the kids, I gotta go shopping, you know, I have school at night, whatever. So what it does is that it takes energy from the sexual hub and gives it to them. That's why when we were at the beginning, I told you that they don't work well, because they're working with another hub's energy, because each one has a different energy. So after they already used some of the sexual hub energy, you finally get home, go at night, you're really tired, but anyways, there's always time and desire to have sex. So there you go. Yeah, we have time. And what happens? That the person expels the little of sexual energy that he or she had left. So without knowing, we keep on taking the energy from that vital body, and instead of it working well, and instead of it giving us more energy and being healthy, we start getting sick. And we don't know, and we all call it stress. No, it's that you're stressed. But what it is that unconsciously, we just keep harming our body, okay? So every time a person has an orgasm or ejaculates, they keep on harming that vital body that we have. So in another conferences, we'll see which are the 7 bodies, okay? So that's how those hubs work. That's the kind of energy they have, okay? So what can we do in order for the hubs to work well? Well, since early in the morning, or since you remember, we're going to start self-observing ourselves, okay? So I'm going to observe if what I am doing, thinking, talking, or I'm really confused today. I'm so sorry, guys, but I'm doing this new. So I start observing all that I'm doing. So I ask myself if this is right, okay? Is this what I'm feeling? Is this feeling right? Is it useful? I mean, is it fine that I woke up blue and I'm already grumpy and it's 10 in the morning? So no, it's not right. That's not a right feeling. So I ask my conscious or my divine mother to kill that defect. I just order my conscious, kill that emotion of feeling blue, okay? So I kill that one. Is this that I'm thinking, is this right? I mean, is this really useful? Is this good for me? Or am I just worrying for something that is not even worth it? Okay, then I ask my conscious to kill that thought, okay? That already happened. I mean, it's useless, let it be. So I just kill that thought. Divine Mother, kill me this memory. The action, the activity that I'm doing, okay? I'm here on WhatsApp, and I have been here like, oh my God, 40 minutes in this group, and you're still there, okay? And so is that action right? I mean, is it really worth it to be 40 minutes in a group? Okay, is that of my conscience? Okay, would my conscience really want me to be doing this? So no, it wouldn't, okay? So I asked my Divine Mother, you know what? No. Kill this action of being on WhatsApp. And I start doing something useful. What I'm talking, is it right? Okay, I mean, is it useful? Is it good for something? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, then I keep on doing it. But let's say, no, I mean, I'm here just talking crap. Okay, it's a waste of time, this thing. So I ask my Divine Mother. I mean, it doesn't have to be speaking out loud, because we talk with ourselves, with our mind, and we just keep there talking to ourselves, like when we're going to say a lie, and we start planning that lie. But should I tell him this or that? And what if they ask me this? No, they will probably catch me there, so no, I think I better tell them this. I mean, is it really worth it to have been spending so much time in that talk? So no, okay, so if you really need to establish what you have to say, okay, but I mean, stop taking so much energy from it, okay? So just try to do it quick. Okay, this is how I'm going to say it, this is what I'm going to do, okay, that's it. Okay, but try to cut it as soon as possible, because it keeps on taking your energy. Okay, so if it's useless, then I ask my Divine Mother, you know what, kill this liar inside me and start doing something else. Okay, so that's how the 7 hubs of the human machine work. I was telling you guys, if you have seen this until now, thank you so much. But I really feel like bad, because they are my first videos and English is my second language, and I still feel nervous doing this. I will do this video again and I'll put it up on YouTube, okay? But not now. But later on I will repeat the video, do it much better, and you could search for it on YouTube, Knowledge of Oneself, Francie, and there you'll find the videos. And if you want more information, you could go to our webpage, knowledgeofoneself.website. Okay, there you will find everything that I have said. Okay, it's there. There it is. Okay, knowledgeofoneself.website. You go into conferences, and there you're going to find the list of our conferences. Just click it and you'll find all the information about that conference. Okay, thank you for watching.